'Tis the season to be sick and tired and run down and staying away from the flu. So many people have the flu nowadays. Well, Jason, it looks like it's just you and I for a little while here. How was your New Year's?
It was very good.
Yeah, what did you do for New Year's this year?
Well, I went down to a bar down in Toronto at Ossington and Bloor.
I wonder if we should actually know any of this.
Yeah, it's called Baseline Music Bar down at Ossington and Bloor, right in the heart of Toronto. And
did they charge an exorbitant amount of money to get in because it was New Year's Eve?
It wasn't too bad. It was only $20 to get in. So
that's not too bad.
Fairly cheap night compared to some other parties that were going on in the Toronto area. So, yeah.
Okay. So, did you set any New Year's resolutions for this year?
Not really resolutions, but more just to kind of enhance, I guess, some of the skills that I already have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more along the lines of intentions. I always tell my clients that
that's a good way to put it.
Intentions are better than New Year's resolutions that perhaps you may set too high and not be able to accomplish.
Right.
So what can you give us an idea without giving away too much of your personal life? What kinds of things you were thinking of for this year?
Just have being more independent. I think that's one of the things I'd like to do is be more independent and more just knowing what my skills and abilities are and things that I need to work on that I can improve upon.
Okay. So did you write down some things that are specific in those areas? You don't have to tell us what they are if you don't want to, but specific things, did you write them down?
I haven't. That's a good idea. I should probably write them down.
Yeah, that's one of the things I recommend to people is that they write them down. Once you write them down, they take on a different life. I mean, when you think about it in your head and you wrap it around a number of times, and if you're older than 50, you may forget what you actually thought about. It's interesting to write things down. It's a great process, a mental process between the mind and the hand and writing it down. And then to leave it for a few days and come back to it and see what it looks like. Because you may have different eyes on it a week later, a month later. And we're going to take a little break because it's the bottom of the hour and that's what we do. When we come back, we'll talk about goal setting and how we should look at goal setting for the coming year and how to set ourselves up for success and not necessarily set ourselves up for the big look and see that in July we only have one check mark on a box of 20 things. You're listening to Fresh Waves and we'll be back right after this. Stay tuned. And we're back on Fresh Waves. I'm your host, Bren Masson. For a little while we've been talking with Jay and some others about what their New Year's resolutions were and how to set some goals that set yourself up for success. I hear more and more people say that they're not going to bother with their New Year's resolutions because they seem to be gung-ho to live up to their own expectations of themselves up until February, and then everything drops off. So there's a really interesting blog by Vishen Lakhiani, and one of the things that he talks about in his blog are the 3 most important questions to use in goal setting. And here they are, apparently. 1, what beautiful human experiences do you want to have? So to ask yourself that question is really quite different than, what do I want to do this year? Not that what I want to do this year is bad necessarily, but this is a little more precise. Question number 2, what will help you grow and become the person you want to be? Again, another interesting question. I guess that one kind of means that you have to sort of figure out the person that you want to be, which is also a good exercise. In what ways can you contribute to others and the world as a whole? And that, of course, is a really good question. Question number 3, I'll repeat it. In what ways can you contribute to others and the world as a whole? So, Jason, volunteering the way you do and contributing to the world around you is really important to you, isn't it?
It is very important, for sure.
And for me as well. We're both volunteers within the community and we're volunteers within the Whistle Radio or Whistle FM confines of community radio and the essence of what true community radio really is, which is a media that supports the community.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
And so what kind of ways of contributing to the world as a whole have you got in store for yourself this year?
Well, I'd like to do. I want to share more of my personal story. I've shared it on the radio, and I've done talks to school kids in 2018. It was very inspiring for me to be there at the school and talk about what my sister did for me. It's going to be coming up to 19 years as of this Friday. So I want to get out there and tell more people.
Well, for the listeners who haven't heard your story, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. So on January 18th of 2000, my sister saved my life with the gift of a kidney. It's coming up to 19 years this coming Friday.
So your sister gave you a kidney just because she felt like it?
Well, I was very sick at the time, and my kidney was slowly failing over time, and it got to the point where I needed to go on kidney dialysis, and I did that for about a year and 9 months. And
now, what is involved with the kidney dialysis?
Well, what I'd have to do is go to the hospital 3 times a week, about 4.5 hours on the machine, and they would stick needles in your arm, and this machine would help to clean the blood of all the excess toxins that a normal kidney would be able to filter out. But when your kidneys aren't working so well, the machine takes over and does the job of that. So I did that for about a year and 9 months, and it was a complete surprise to me. Like I was, we're at my birthday there, talking in the kitchen, and my sister tells me the news that she's going to donate a kidney to me, and just a complete shock that she was going to do that.
What a lovely thing to do.
Yeah, no, that's something really special. I mean, just looking back and just thinking that that's a pretty big sacrifice to give up a part of your body to help me out, and I really do.
Yeah, she's a good sister.
Very good sister, for sure.
Got to treat her well.
Oh, I sure do. Yeah, we're very close. And
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're looking at your life going forward now, what kind of goals, I mean, when you think of telling your story to the world, what would be the purpose of telling the world that? What do you hope that the world gets from hearing your story?
I've faced a lot of challenges in my life, and just the message that you face these challenges, and it's all your attitude and how you deal with it. I mean, you could be throwing all these different obstacles in your way, and if you deal with it in a positive attitude, you can get through anything, I think. So
it's the story of personal triumph over adversity.
Exactly. Oh, for sure.
Okay. I think it also would be a great message to the world to fill out their donor cards, to become a donor, to understand how important it is to be a donor.
Right, exactly.
Would that be one of your underlying themes as well?
It would be, definitely, for sure.
Okay, so how do people fill out their donor card for the start of new 2019?
Well, you can, in Ontario, you can go to, each, province and country has their own registry for organ donation, but for Ontario, you go to beadonor.ca, you get out your health card because it'll ask for your health card information. So you go there, put in your health card information, and it'll ask you, do you want to, donate your kidney or, different things you want to donate. And then it only takes about 2 minutes to do that. Mm-hmm. So you can give your consent of organ
Is there a
donation. Category
for you can take anything that's still working that I don't any longer need?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So in the event that you do pass away, that the doctor will determine which organs are good for transplant, and then take it from there.
Okay. So one of your goals, then, you could say, is if you're looking at the 3 questions, and the third one is the one that we're talking about, in what ways can you contribute to others and the world as a whole? Advocating for organ donation would be a really good way that you could help the world as a whole.
Oh, definitely, for sure, yeah.
Now, there's going to be people in the world around us who don't have such a mammoth story to tell. They don't have the big things that happen to you in your life that have happened along the way, but simple things to contribute to the world around you. Volunteering at one of the many benevolent clubs in towns or philanthropic clubs like the Lions Club or Knights of Columbus, or, check out these different
organizations.
Check out these organizations and see that perhaps you could help with them if you really want to. You've always been a closet broadcaster and always wanted to participate in radio, but you don't want to make it your career necessarily. It's more of a hobby thing. Hey, come on by a community radio station. There are many of them. And here in Stouffville, it's Whistle FM. And we're always looking for volunteers and new show hosts and things like that, or people to just help out around the station. It's a nice little community group of people and a great way to contribute to your community. There are also a number of church groups in town where people can volunteer and contribute, and just doing the simplest things around your neighborhood, just being a good neighbor and reaching out to somebody who might need a hand, even to open the door at a store or something like that, is
Right.
participating, and it's becoming a better person and contributing to the world around you, not just to your own purposes.
Oh, for sure. And
So-
even just a simple smile that, brightens somebody's day.
Absolutely.
Just to be nice to somebody and smile
And that's
at
an
them.
achievable goal.
It is, definitely.
That's something that you can say, this year I'm going to smile a bit more often. And this year I'm going to smile at people who seem like they need a smile in their day. Mm-hmm. Be a little more conscious of the world around me.
Definitely.
That's an attainable goal. That's something that you can say by the end of February or March. You know what? I've done a little bit more of that. That's a good thing. I feel good about it.
Oh, definitely.
All right, we're going to talk about the other two big questions when we come back from this next little break. You're listening to Fresh Waves here on Whistle FM. Stay tuned. And we're back on Fresh Waves. I'm your host, Bren Masson. We're talking now a little bit about goal setting. I'm an expressive arts practitioner, and as an expressive arts practitioner, we advocate for sure expressing yourself and using different art forms to express yourself. So when I look at the concept of setting New Year's resolutions, a resolution means I resolve to do this in the future, or setting goals that are something that you're striving towards in the year, I really do recommend to people that they make sure that these goals are attainable. And one of the great things to do is to sit down and do a vision board. And I know they're kind of trendy right now. And Jennifer Ettinger has a beautiful little piece that she did on Facebook or Instagram. She's been on our show before. And she did a really nice piece about sitting down and making her board. And she does it as a little ritual every January 1st. It doesn't matter if you've missed the January 1st deadline. It's really interesting to set some intentions and some goals. Take some magazines. You can do it in a collage, as she's done, or you can do it in a writing piece. And your writing piece doesn't necessarily have to be in your journal. It's interesting to write on a different platform, meaning on a piece of wood, on a big piece of Bristol board, on a piece of colored paper, on an old tablecloth. Don't necessarily write from top to bottom, left to right. Take this opportunity on a bigger board instead of in your journal to write in places on the board. And then sometimes you can augment this writing with pictures. Maybe a picture that does say 1,000 words can be on your board, and then you can write something about it. You can set an intention. Like you just said, Jay, you intend this year to spread the word of the benefits of organ donation. You want to spread the word of conquering adversity.
Yes.
Of strong human character. And maybe you write a vision board that will help you to write that speech. Or the vision board will help you to figure out a path to accomplish that goal. Pretty lofty goals.
It is, yeah.
But if you had a path, a more direct route to get there, then that would be a really good thing for you. So question number 2 that says, what will help you grow and become the person you want to be? That's an interesting question. And that is a kind of question that may unfold during your exercise of writing your vision board.
Right.
Or your journaling board, as I'm going to call it, a play create board. Play create mean is like recreate, only you're playing. So you keep it fun, you keep it light. You don't get too bogged down in the how am I going to get this done. But more the ideas that you want to manifest. So, for example, if you're flipping through a magazine and you see a funny little creature wearing glasses, looking kind of funky, and you're wondering, hey, what's his biz all about? He looks really happy. Maybe you put that on your board, because that kind of happiness, the expression on that little creature's face, is what you hope to find in yourself this year.
Right.
Do you see what I mean?
Okay,
it doesn't
makes
have
sense.
to be, I want to be an organ donor, so I'm going to find a picture of a kidney in a medical magazine and stick it on my vision board.
It's
You
not
can
like that,
you
no.
can actually do that if that's what you choose to do. But it doesn't have to be. What you might find on your vision board is the feeling that is created when you feel that you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
All right. Makes sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
If
it's
you're
all about
looking
feeling.
for wealth, a lot of people say, I'm going to become wealthy. I'm setting the intention for wealth and prosperity this year. Interesting intention. What does wealth and prosperity mean to you? What does wealth and prosperity create for you? Because maybe it's not wealth and prosperity that you're looking for so much as it's comfort. So much as it's being in a place in your life that you're satisfied with, where you find a picture of someone cruising the Mediterranean, someone lying on a beach somewhere, someone sitting in a beautiful room reading a book. So these are the kinds of things that wealth and prosperity might bring to you. And those are the kinds of things that you can put on your vision board. There are the traditional things of, this is the house I would like to live in. This is the place that I would like to live in. This is the type of job that I would like to have. But be aware that there are other things when you're looking for your pictures, whether they be through magazines or online and you print them off, that there are other things to put on your board that represent the feelings and the kinds of things that you are trying to achieve in your life. If, Jay, you went out and you did a great speech on Be a Donor, several people signed up on the site, what would that make you feel like?
Oh, I'd feel really good, to know that my message is getting out there and people are actually being engaged in it.
Right. Would you feel happy inside?
Very happy. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So you might put on your vision board a picture of the happy Jay.
Oh, there. Oh, hey, that's an idea.
Do you see what I mean?
Right.
So in so much as you could put the picture of the kidney, you could also put a picture of the happy Jay.
Okay.
Because this is the intent that you have set for the year. So when you're looking at collaging or vision boarding or any of these expressive things, they're all very expressive, don't be afraid to project onto your board not only the physical things that you want, but the feeling that those things bring to you.
Right. Okay. I got you.
It's interesting, too, to not purge these things in terms of throwing them out. To keep your boards and to look at them year after year. To go back and see what you did 5 years ago and see how it's different this year. See how the intention that you set has manifested. Which is often a great thing to do. The law of attraction, as we've talked with Catherine Faint and Sylvia Mason many times about, and we will be doing that again in the near future on the show, is really interesting to look at the laws of attraction. If you put it out there, chances are you will get it back in some way, shape, or form.
You will.
So
Yep.
make sure what you're putting out there is worthy of being out there and worthy of you and what you want.
Okay.
It's also okay. I think a really good trick to doing the vision board or doing any collaging, or even the words that we were talking about. Remember I said to put on the board, you can write little snippets and don't put them top to bottom and right, left to right. Put them where they fit on the board. And in that sense, write them on a piece of paper that you can glue to your board. And if you use rubber cement, this is a little trick for all collaging and diary writing or journaling that you're doing with pictures and things. Put them on with rubber cement so that you can peel them off and move them around as you're working.
Oh, that's smart.
Because what you
Okay,
might
right.
find is that you put it over here, well, when in fact it's over here. And oh, I like it up there, but I might not get around to that until later. That's more of an end goal. I'm going to put it down
So you want
here.
to move it around. Okay.
So you can move it around the page if it's rubber cement.
Right. Okay.
You don't have to fix it down the first time you do it. A lot of people will tell you that, you want this to be spontaneous. So in that case, if you want to do the spontaneous board, look at your board and then do another board. That's perfectly acceptable as well. There isn't any rule that says you can only do one board per year. You can do as many boards as you want. And the process of doing the first one in expressive arts or any of the art therapy, music therapy, which is, the expression using the arts, they'll always tell you it's not about the end product. It's about the process of getting there. That's why I'm saying once you get your board done, or you've used up all the space on your board, you may feel that by doing that process, you've actually come across things that you didn't think of before you started, or that the things are coming together to make a picture that wasn't really what you first thought it would be.
Right.
So then it's okay and perfectly acceptable and encouraged, as a matter of fact, to continue with that board. And to continue the process, because it's the process of doing this, of setting the goals, of setting the intentions, of making a vision board or a journal, that it's the process that will give you the actual best outcomes, not the end product.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So these are some hints for going forward in the year 2019 of making your vision board. If you need any more information, you can always contact me through Bren@freshwaves.com or on my website and send me a little note, and we can help you get all kinds of different things done for your expressive year. And Jay, I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors this year. I know you have a few things lined up that are sounding super exciting for this 2019.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Share them with us after you've finished them and let us know what's going on in your life from time to time. And like we said, we'll be discussing vision boards a little bit later and laws of attraction. And we've got some great things lined up for this show for this year. If anyone out there has any ideas, anything they'd like to hear about, one of our main goals here at Fresh Waves is to share information and bring new ideas to our listeners. If there's anything that you would like to explore in more depth, if there's any topic that seems to be of interest to you, do let us know. And Jay, how can people find us?
Yes, we're on Facebook, Fresh Waves on Whistle FM. Give us a like there on our page. We're also on Twitter at Fresh Waves Radio. And you can call us here at the station anytime, 905-640-1027.
Sounds terrific. And of course, you can get a hold of me at Bren@freshwaves.ca.
That's right.
Anytime you like. And that's a simple little email to remember. Bren@freshwaves.ca, and drop us a line and let us know what you'd like to hear on the radio. That's it for today. We've run out of time. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being an active member of this community or any community that you are in. We hope that you have a fabulous 2019. Be kind, stay warm, and have a great day.